All right, guys, what is going on? Got some stuff to get to tonight. There's always stuff to get to. It's always gonna be a news cycle. Things to react to. The Greenland election. What does it mean? Oh, my cat's in here tonight. What's going on, guys? Yeah, I saw this. I don't even know what this is. Why is Nancy Pelosi saying this? We're not going to go back. Wasn't that the rally cry during the campaign? We're not going back, and then they lost. I don't even know. I mean, who knows why these people are saying this? The golden age. Yeah, no, it's definitely the golden age for me. It's got to be the golden age for my crypto portfolio. That's what we need with Trump here. We need the golden age of my crypto portfolio. We got good report on inflation. I knew it was going to be a good report. They reported the true inflation was like 1.3, 1.45%. The stuff that the Fed uses was reported at 2.8%. Donald, what's up, man? That's the real Donald Trump, I'm sure. CR bill thoughts, it's going to be passed. Well, I don't know. They're saying they're going to block it. It looks like Democrats are doing anything in their will to try and hamper Trump's economic policy to slow the economy down. I mean, it's basically the same thing. It's just an extension from Biden's bill. It's not the official new bill. That's going to come towards the back half of this year. This is just the 3 or 4 month extension. And then Massey wants to come and make a whole scene about it, but it already passed through the House. But yeah, they need 60 senators. That's the problem. Thomas Massey tweet. What, the one that I tweeted? Yeah, I mean, that's, I saw that, so I just tweeted it because the dude's trying to block funding of the wall. Remember that whole mess in 2018? They didn't want to fund the wall. They shut down the government because of it. Egg prices are down $2. Well, of course, I mean, they were going to fluctuate and come back down. It was just they eliminated a bunch of chickens because it was protocol for the bird flu. What is it, F5, F1N5, or N5F1, whatever virus that was? Yeah, so they had a protocol, and they were like, well, we just followed the protocol. Like, well, why do you think the egg prices are through the roof? I mean, it's just a bullshit, low IQ Democrat talking point. The egg prices are high. Well, how is that? If there's a bird flu and before Trump even came in office, they killed a bunch of the chickens. I mean, where are the hens? You're not gonna get any eggs. Juice, yeah, I'm gonna have to get some juice, honestly, because I get really my mouth gets really dry here. You saw my vid about the Alberta situation. Do you think Saskatchewan will try and join if Alberta joins? It's unknown right now. I haven't heard much on Saskatchewan. They would be the second most conservative province. I think it depends on the tariff situation and how bad it is for Canada and how much of a lifeline Trump offers to Alberta. If it's a really good economic situation, you might get Saskatchewan joining as well, because they are a little bit more conservative, and they're not on Alberta level in terms of conservative, but they are definitely, you would say, more conservative. Will Russia accept the ceasefire? I don't know. I don't know the terms of the ceasefire, but they've put pressure on Russia to accept it, so we'll have to see. Do you think we're gonna have a government shutdown? Hopefully not. It'd be annoying for the markets and everything we're trying to recover, but in the grand scheme, it'll probably be a 2-day shutdown. It'll be a whole lot to do about nothing. That's normally what these type of things are, even if there is a shutdown. Thoughts on Trump love with Conor McGregor? Well, I saw he met the Irish PM there. That was a funny little meeting they had. I don't even know. Do I have any things on here for it? Yeah, here's the new inflation down to 2.8%. The Fed wants it at 2%. I think Trump's going to be very disappointed with the Fed. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to lower interest rates. Trump's going to be pissed, but they said their target is 2%. They're going to have to lower it in 6 weeks when they meet. But this upcoming in a week, they're going to, I would say, keep the interest rates the same, which is not going to go over well with Trump, let me tell you, because this is going down, but it's not going down at the rate that they want it. But it doesn't matter. It's as long as it keeps going down. Trump is forcing them to lower. They really should lower the rates on the 19th. I don't know if they'll do it though. What if Powell doesn't cut? Well, it's not going to go over well with Trump. I mean, they wanted the inflation down. It's down. It's not 2.0%, but it's 2% and 2.8. They're slashing regulations. This is what Republicans do to stimulate the economy on energy and power and in the auto industry. 31 new actions. Russia declined the deal. I haven't heard anything on if they've accepted it or declined it personally, unless it just happened. Did you see Trump buying the Tesla with Elon? Yeah, that was like a solidarity thing with Musk because Musk's Tesla stock has been down. So they went out and Trump bought it for just a little propaganda media spin. Huh. Yeah, my cat is sleeping right here, actually. I'll show my cat at the end of the stream. Thoughts on the Browns wanting Russell Wilson? The Browns are a mess right now. They're trying to get any passable quarterback. Did Musk and Rubio have a fight? There's always going to be disagreements. I think Rubio was probably not happy with the amount of say Musk has in certain sectors of the administration. There's going to be problems like that, but that was an in-house thing. Really, barely anything got out on it. Greenland should be more worried about the EU than the US. That's why they voted to be independent of Denmark. May potentially want to join the US as a territory. Or at least, what do you mean they should be worried? Greenland should be more worried. Greenland would have the choice in that scenario to join the United States or the EU. I mean, I think their people would say their values probably more aligned with the EU, honestly. But they're going to need some type of economic deal with either us or whether it's the EU or a country in Europe like the UK. They're going to need some type of economic deal. I mean, it helps both sides. This isn't even like a imperialistic thing to where we want more land. I mean, it's just it makes sense for both countries. Now they're doing this whole schnick where they want to be independent because that's what these countries do that have lower populations, and it's like a 22-year-old college girl like, I want freedom. That's what these people do. It's basically what it is. So they're going to do their whole charade. They want, and I said this was going to happen. I said they want to be free of Denmark, but they don't want to join the United States. So there has to be coaxing done, or you can just take them over militarily, but it's not something you really want to do because it's seen as an aggressive thing, and Greenland they have no army. It's in a deal with Denmark. Even if they did have arms, they wouldn't have the manpower to defend anything. So they're exposed. Not saying anyone's going to invade them. It's more of a thing you say just to be able to acquire the territory. Like, we need to protect them, but we also want access to the Arctic. We want the minerals. We want the rare earths. It's all stuff that Trump wants. And if you can do it relatively, I mean, Trump's been saying we want Greenland if they want to join us. That's a very like liberal type thing to say. I mean, the odds are they're probably not going to want to join the U.S. There's going to have to be some type of agreement done, but I think it's more of a negotiation by Trump at the start to not come off as aggressive. Is Greenland even geographically in Europe? I thought it was north. They're closer to North America if you look at a map. I believe they're very close to Canada. Why do Republicans try so fucking hard to pander to Jews with all the Israel stuff? They will always be 80-20 Democrat liberal. Yeah, I mean, Jewish people are liberal no matter what, even with what Trump has done, but it has nothing to do with the voter base of Jews in the United States. This is all behind the scenes money that infests the American government system, and that's why you see Trump doing certain things. I mean, Trump has a totally different policy for them, but like we're not. I don't want to sit here and keep going on with the Israel issue. There's enough of people that keep calling out Trump with the Israel stuff. I mean, it's like, and people are like, you should call out Trump more. My entire timeline is Republicans calling out Trump. That's all it is. I mean, so it's like, but what do you want me to do? Radio silence on Thomas Crooks. I know. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Trump said there was going to be something with Crooks. Dead air. Well, yeah. I mean, I can't comment every fucking second, man. You think it's a no-brainer they'll go with America? I think it would be better for them to go with the United States, even if they think we're more conservative. And yeah, these are very liberal people, but you want to be protected better, you go with the United States. Steven, thank you. Hellcats and V8s. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, they're definitely lowering the regulations. It's definitely good for the economy. And this is something that's going to really go into effect in the coming months. You're going to start seeing reaction with, I would say, I mean, it just depends with the tariffs, because the tariffs really do affect with the economic uncertainty. They will cause the stock market to go through some turbulence, as we've seen. So I don't know if Trump is doing more tariffs, or I mean, I read somewhere that Canada wanted to meet with Trump, possibly possibly end the tariffs. And so they've already said they want to meet and renegotiate that trade deal. I mean, that's good news for us if it ends up being. I mean, I just don't know if Trump really wants to go hard on Canada. There might be a negotiation to where Trump says you have to eliminate all of your tariffs, the 270% tariffs against dairy, all of your other tariffs against us, and then we also want more access to your minerals. I mean, that's something that might end up happening if there is a renegotiation, I would say. And then Trump can view it as a huge win. But if Trump really wants Alberta or he wants Canada, the tariffs are going to have to stay in place. But he's lightened the tariffs already, the point to where some of them are on a hold. They're not even in place. It's like, we'll see what he ends up doing. Not an amazing topic, but I wonder what the rhetoric discussion was back when Eisenhower tried to buy Greenland. Well, it's a completely different time period, Back then it was more acceptable, and you're also talking about the United States having a presence via World War II in Greenland and protecting Greenland to a degree. It wasn't like Nazi Germany was going to invade Greenland, but we did have control of Greenland by default. Do you watch NASCAR a lot? I don't watch any NASCAR, no. What does Denmark even provide for Greenland? They give them, I think they have a trade deal with them, and they provide them subsidies. What is happening on Friday? What is today, Wednesday right now? I don't know what's happening on Friday, man. You tell me. Do you feel social media attacks you more because you are a right winger? You can't comment anything on anything liberal without getting deleted and banned. You're sick of it. Well, not on X. You don't get banned for anything on X anymore. I mean, if you go to a liberal subreddit, yeah, you're gonna get crushed. But no, X is like completely free. I mean, look at what Ye was saying. And they didn't. I mean, he was trying to get banned. Musk didn't ban him. But the problem with Musk is that they'll ban a lot of accounts for like other things outside of like political opinions, which I guess is better than getting banned because you're a perceived racist. But they do ban a lot. Like the numbers are pretty remarkable, and liberals use this talking point. Like Musk has banned more people than before, and it is true. But it's not for political reasons. It's like there's so many crypto accounts that don't do anything to get banned. It's like. This doesn't make any sense. It's like they have a weird vetting system. We agree Greenland and their government total pawns here with zero political savvy compared to the United States. Well, Greenland is such a small country. We're not going to compare the government of Greenland to the United States. It wouldn't make any sense to do that. Them being pawns, I mean, they don't have a lot of power. They have no population. So yeah, you could say they're pawns, but it's not. You know, it's just because they have no population. And also, I mean, their climate. You can really only live along the coastline on Greenland right now because of the climate. I mean, the entire center of the country and I mean, most of the country is a glacier. So we don't know really how many minerals. I mean, they've got, I would imagine, just 70-80 trillion dollars worth of minerals within Greenland. A lot of them you can't access, though, because of the glacier ice. X is the most representative marketplace of ideas, no left-wing censorship of opposing ideas. Well, right, that's why they've done studies on it. X is like 50-50. Now, it might change because more liberals are going to Blue Sky or whatever, but it is non-censored, and so that's always going to win out. When you don't have an echo chamber, when you've got both sides, that is the stuff that's always going to win out. Even though people are pushed to a certain side and you're going to have an echo chamber, but you'll still get interactions between conservatives and liberals on there. Any updates on the cartel situation? I haven't seen anything, man. How much minerals are currently accessible? I don't know. I saw it was like $5 to $7 trillion worth. It's all very rough estimates. But I mean, we would be buying it for like a fraction of a penny of that, whatever they have. I mean, it does cost a lot of money to extract them, but it's a climate to where this isn't Antarctica. This is you will be able to work and extract along the coast in Greenland, you know, especially during the summer months. USS Liberty is banned on X. I mean, I give Musk credit. There isn't anything banned in terms of that type of stuff. He'll allow pretty much anything. Is Jared Taylor back on X? I believe he is, yeah. I think pretty much everyone is back on that got banned previously. Do you like the Second Amendment? Of course I like the Second Amendment. Blaze, what's up, man? You got to do an in-depth video on how Trump won moderate centrists would be super interesting. Well, it might have been more so the left and their talking points. That's kind of what the common opinion I think would be with how far the left went with just losing issues like the trans issue, illegal immigration, although they try to turn it back. So-called pro-Hamas protesters, should they be covered by the First Amendment even if it's non-violent and they're just verbally saying supposed pro-Hamas Israeli things. Yeah, well, I think the one person that got deported was that was someone that was on a visa, so they weren't a citizen. But look, I mean, we're gonna keep doing this stuff with Israel and with Trump. I mean, it's obvious Trump has a special relationship with Israel. He's going to side with Israel. I mean, if we keep hashing the same stuff, I don't know what to tell people. I put out a video saying Trump has an Israel problem, but then it's like this constant Israel, 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 Israel. I like talking about Trump on other things other than Israel. Have your subscriber count peaked already and hit a plateau? Well, when you have an election and then it ends, that's what happens. But I mean, I get good enough views to where I'm happy. Have you seen the new deets about you're talking about the TSMC, the Taiwan Semiconductor $100 billion investment? Wonder if it's contingent or what it actually says when things get built. Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to see what the investment is in that. That's something that I probably need to look up. But I mean, Trump was saying it's about 180 billion. I don't know where Trump got the 180 billion from. Maybe he likes to round things up, I think. But I heard it was like 150 billion. But originally, I did hear it was only 100 billion. I mean, it's a lot of money either way. Did you see Trump talking about Vance's socks? He socks, yeah. You know, you meet the Irish and well, then I mean, they also just asked Trump random questions, not even pertaining to the meeting.
I think the markets are going to soar when they see what's happening. I'll tell you what, I'm called every day by numerous big companies. I spoke at the Business Roundtable yesterday. They had the largest attendance they've ever had, and these are only the CEOs and chairmen, but mostly the people that run the boss, the people that run the top 150 companies. 150 people showed up. Every single company showed up. First time it ever happened. It's been around a long time. The biggest business leaders. We had a great discussion. It went really well. And I want to tell you, there's tremendous optimism out there about our country in terms of regulations being cut, in terms of taxes being cut. And
yeah, he's right on that. What am I going to do about the YouTube ad thing? I don't even know what it is. Election forecast. What is it? If Russia does a ceasefire in the next 48 hours, it's going to be wild. Yeah, that would be a big boost. That would be a big boost for us if we I mean, it's not the peace deal, but it's a big step in the right direction. Russia won't agree to a ceasefire, though. You know that. Well, it depends. I mean, it depends how it's structured. There's Russian people that keep telling me they're not going to agree to it. They're not going to agree. The United States technically still backs Ukraine, and so does NATO. So it's not like there's this thing to where Russia has all the leverage. That's why Trump and Ukraine agreed to the ceasefire, and in return, we're still funding Ukraine because we need to make sure Ukraine has enough leverage to force Russia into the ceasefire. It's not like Russia has all the leverage in the world. They've wasted a lot on this war. Bondi is just a puppet for yeah, but I mean, that's Pam Bondi has not been good. And there's really no communication. That's the thing with Pam Bondi. There's no communication when it comes to declassifying any of this stuff. If you have a fuck up, that's fine. Tell us what's going on. There's none of it. You remember when I had 20,000 subscribers and made a lot more sports content? Well, yeah, my channel was pretty much all, well, it was like politics. I didn't get any subscribers, then sports. And then mainly just went to like more stadiums, and then 9/11, and then politics. Had to resubscribe to your channel because you're either not getting notifications, you're getting booted off subscription. Yeah, well, notifications for live streams. I'm really angry with YouTube, and it doesn't really make sense the way they do the notifications. I would say They should highlight and make sure everyone gets notifications for the live streams. The videos, it's like, all right, you don't have to give notifications for the videos because people can just see the videos anytime. But the live streams, you know, so you get more live viewers. That's really what you want. Condi blew it with the Epstein stuff, but all the other stuff she did has been pretty good, especially the ATF stuff. Yeah. I mean, I guess she's got a lot to prove in terms of gaining the trust back of these people. The problem is with social media, once there's a narrative out about it for somebody, there's going to have to be something that she does in terms of something, maybe this declassifying 9/11 files, I don't know. King, thank you for that. Trump needs to acknowledge that it's Irish History Month, but he won't because of his feud with cowbell Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah, well, he made it Irish History Month this month. I never really understood the whole idea of, oh, it's Black History Month, it's whatever. I mean, Irish History Month, it's in March, it makes sense. I can appreciate it, but just in general, like the idea of honoring history months, I never understood the hype around it. Base coins are pumping. I think Base is going to do very well. The automatic update on mid-roll ads that will make a lot of smaller channels quit. What do you mean an automatic update? Does Homan have more power in the border or Naomi? Christy Nome? Yeah, Homan has the ultimate power. She's just like a secretary. Greenland should understand how important they are in the context of geopolitics. U.S. is an ally and would be better off instead of the EU. Look at what happened with UK, Germany in terms of immigration. Not good. Yeah, I fear that they relate more politically to the EU than to us. And if the EU really makes a proposal like to do some type of economic investment with all the major countries in the EU, that's what I would fear if I was Trump. But they haven't really shown an aggression to do that. But I mean, you had like France saying, we're going to send troops to defend Greenland. I mean, what are these European countries talking about? You're going to send troops to defend Greenland from the United States. That's one of the most ridiculous things I've heard. What would we do with Alberta if we get them besides natural resources? Well, Alberta would become a state. They've got about 5 million citizens. It'd be you'd get representatives, you would get 2 senators, you'd get a governor, all Republican, and you'd get 9 Republican electoral votes. They have the population to be a state. Alberta's a different ballgame than Greenland. But yeah, it would be mainly the natural resources, extend your land barrier. I mean, it'd be a weird, border now with just them. You don't believe we should have race month days? It only divides people by color even more. Yeah, I mean, I guess I understand the whole idea of honoring certain people, but the whole like Black History Month or Indigenous Peoples Month, or I don't even know what the hell they have now, but I just never understood the purpose of it, honestly. I mean, I guess it's to honor, but if it's a whole month, doesn't that kind of take away? Wouldn't it be better off as a day or something? Like a whole month, it's like there's only 12 months in the year. Alberta would be a huge score. Well, I mean, if Alberta's going to happen, he's going to have to keep the tariffs on, which will, for this period of time, hurt the economy. The tariffs are going to have to stay on. You're going to have to cripple them and then force them economically to join, to where it makes more sense for them to join the U.S. if Trump decides to keep the tariffs on. They're trying to meet with Trump already and stop these tariffs because it's hurting their economy. We should have taken Greenland after World War II. I certainly, you think we'd have more leverage to take Greenland after World War II. Just keep it. I mean, I guess it wasn't ours based around us just acquiring it. It was more necessity. But still. Yeah, I gotta look up some news updates for you guys. I'm sorry. Core inflation is at its lowest level in nearly 4 years. I mean, that's big. I mean, this has got to be a Fed cut. I mean, you've got stuff like this. We'll have to see, though. I mean, you wonder with accounts like this, they got the gold check Mark Carney ready to meet with Trump to discuss ending the tariff war. Well, what does that mean? That's a renegotiation of the trade deal. Inflation just came in at 2.8%, lower than expectations. The real number's even lower. Fed should cut rates immediately. American gas prices fall to the lowest price since March. I mean, there's good things, there's bad things. The economy, the crypto, the stock market, it's not been great, but there's some good things with inflation coming down, the gas prices being lower. Are egg prices virus related or economy related? They spiked bad in 2022, 2020. No. These recent egg prices have nothing to do with the coronavirus. This is because of that bird flu. Thoughts on White History Year? We're getting a full year of... I know you're trolling, man. the Carney-Trump meeting is going to be brutal. Yeah, we just need J.D. Vance there. We just need to have another Oval Office meeting with like they did with Zelensky. Oh. You can just see the content from here. Not coronavirus, the bird virus. Well, no, then the egg prices, if they spiked in 2022, then yeah, that would be related to the coronavirus. This bird virus is new, and it's killed a lot of chickens. It's very bad, but you know, we're happy it wasn't worse than what people were saying it was going to spread to humans. But they killed a lot of the chickens out of protocol. That's what the Biden administration did. No Epstein, no JFK, no mass deportation, still funding Ukraine. Well, I mean, yeah, like, the thing is with the funding of Ukraine is to create, and see, this is the thing with people that hate Trump, especially some of these conservatives, funding Ukraine. Well, no, Trump cut the funding to Ukraine. The only reason we're funding Ukraine is so Ukraine doesn't get absolutely destroyed in a peace deal with Russia. You have to give Ukraine leverage when they go into negotiations. So Ukraine can stay, we still have the United States behind us. It's these, and look, that's fine. You want to criticize Trump, but understand this is all my timeline now. My timeline is just mainly conservative people hating Trump. That's all it is. They're not cutting aid to Ukraine. Well, they did cut aid to Ukraine, but this was contingent on the ceasefire. They have to give Ukraine the aid back so Ukraine has negotiating leverage so they don't get trounced in a peace deal. Thomas Massey is a rhino. Yeah, just start calling it the opposite. Start trolling him. I mean, he did oppose the border wall. The border wall cost too much. I don't know. Have they finished the border wall yet? Minus the Red Eagle interview, have you done any podcasts? No, I haven't. But that wasn't even a podcast. When I did that thing with Red Eagle, that was just like a question and answer thing. A podcast, I think, is like you gotta be like an hour and a half, 2 hours to be a podcast. Estimate of the peace deal timeline. Well, If it's a 30-day ceasefire, there's possibly a peace deal that comes within 30 days, but it depends on what Russia does. It's contingent on Russia accepting. Ukraine has really put the pressure on Russia now by accepting that ceasefire. Play Heart of Iron. Yeah, you know what? I was thinking of playing that game and setting up modern scenarios like the United States taking over Greenland, because they've got a mod in it that's a modern mode. It's like a 2014 version or something. Massey is genuine, although you don't always agree with him. A lot of it's performance. It's just people are going to talk about the APAC. No, I think it's good he doesn't accept APAC money. I wish all of our congressmen would also agree to not accept APAC money. But I mean, with something like this is not even the big budget. It's not like this is just to keep the economy going, and we've already dealt with turmoil because of the tariffs. Am I going on Gavin Newsom's? Yeah, Gavin Newsom hosted Steve Bannon. Wow. Listen, with Newsom, it's the ultimate. I'm trying to appeal more to center-right people, centrists. Newsom knows he's very good at talking. He's very good at appearing a certain way on camera. He's got that persona. So he knows that, and he's trying to play to the strength. And so, but he's having on, like, Bannon. It is a little bit surprising he had Bannon on. So he's definitely trying to get views, and so we'll see what happens with him. Massey won't need Trump's endorsement. He beat $2 million in APAC spending and got 75% of it. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily smart for Trump to go after Massey. Trump has this ego with him that sometimes a lot of the times comes through, and he does not like what Massey is doing. He's not being cooperative with this deal, and he's a Republican. We voted for Trump. But then he's like, oh, I have morals and stuff. It's like, all right, man. Newsom hosted Bannon. Yeah, but it was not in person, man. That's the problem. Like, yeah, I can go to it if you want. The thing is, I was trying to find good clips. I didn't really find many clips because when it's not in person, it kind of takes it away. But I mean, it is still, you get. What is that? I think that was with Charlie Kirk. That was the Charlie Kirk one.
We're not bystanders in the world. It's decisions, not conditions, that determine.
This is crazy that he's actually hosting Bannon.
Appreciate the notion of agency, that we're not bystanders in the world. It's decisions, not conditions, that determine our fate and future. And that fundamental notion of agency, I think, is important more broadly. And I think that goes to some of the issues around, victimization. And I see a lot of that, respectively, on the right, increasingly, even with Trump often approaching things from that sort of mindset.
What do you mean? What do you mean for Trump?
I think there's sort of the grievance narrative that comes from Trump. This notion there is sort of a victim grievance.
Well, they did try to put him in prison for 300 years, right? They did try to bankrupt him.
Well, that's
if a guy had ever had a set of grievances, they did steal, according to us, and we're firm believers, the 2020 election, which I think worked out better, that providentially that he was able to come back with that gap, because I think you're seeing a much more not just new and improved, but somebody that's much more in command of these decisions and really stepping up in a way that we could have never done before. But no, I don't think it's grievances. I think it's reality. I mean, they tried to. No one in American history has the system ever come after, and I think it's one of the problems with the Democrats. You got in a position of having to defend. Remember, I come from a working class Democratic family.
An old
right?
Kennedy Democratic family.
Kennedy Democrat. I was telling some people last night, I said, we didn't know any Republicans. We were Irish, Catholic, working class, phone company, firemen, Navy enlisted people. You didn't know any Republicans. They just weren't in your, we were in the South also, which is all, machine Democratic politics. So you didn't know anybody. You didn't know anybody then. And so to see what President Trump had to go through, and to see how we've actively changed the Republican Party to actually the working class party in this country. There was a poll done last spring that showed that we as the Republican Party are the working class party and viewed as such, and that President Trump's the leader of that working class party, and the Democrats have become both not just the Wall Street elitists, but also the kind of the credential class with the poor underneath, of which we're now trying to obviously recruit not just the working poor.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm a little bit surprised he understands that you got to be relevant. You got to have people on that, you know, disagree with you. But yeah, Newsom is definitely making an early attempt at kickstarting a 2028 campaign by being relevant. He had that fire situation. That's tough. Byron Donalds, 2028, he will beat J.D. Vance in the primary. That's unlikely, man. I mean, you can't really predict into the future that much. Thoughts on the military attack on Moscow? Russia not very happy with Ukraine for doing that, even though the ceasefire deal has... Well, Russia hasn't signed the ceasefire, so that's why that probably happened. If Russia signs the ceasefire, there's not going to be any attacks on Moscow. But I'm sure Russia obviously is not happy with any attack. Have you seen the Twitter account dedicated to hating on you? Yeah, I've seen that, and you're going to get that on the internet. This podcast is a cover-up for all the catastrophes committed in California. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really going to work, but it is interesting he's having these people on. It's like a last-ditch attempt for him to stay relevant, it seems like. This was his 4th episode. Who else did he have on? He had Charlie Kirk on the 1st episode. He said this is his 4th episode, so I guess he's had some other people on that's maybe were liberal, so nobody cared.
Democrats are going to go extinct. I hope so. I'm not one of those people like you that think, oh, it's really healthy for the country if you have 2 strong parties. Get out of here.
This is dumb. I mean, why would the Democrats are not going to go extinct? These people should... You're long enough into politics to know that, yeah, the Democrats are down right now. They're going to galvanize around someone. They're going to say they're going to win the midterms. This is how politics are.
You said you think that in the past. You think it's good for both
I
parties
want to
that be-
burn your village and steal your women. Metaphorically speaking. I want one of those great stretches where it was like Reagan, Bush, and if it wasn't for Ross Perot, it would have been 16 straight years. That's what I want, and that's what I expect. And that doesn't mean I'm saying red wave.
Yes.
Let's just be clear. The Democrats right now are at a messaging retreat in Virginia. They're just trying to trick you. What do they stand for? What do you stand for, Democrats? Do you even stand for fighting climate change? Because you're torching Teslas and you stole all the money from the Green New scam.
Those were the progressives.
Do you stand for education? No, you shut the schools down and you don't even talk about test scores. Do you stand for health? Look at yourselves. Obviously, you're not Maha. Do you stand for border? Do you stand for public safety? Obviously not. Do you stand for the middle class doing well?
Yeah, this is just boomer stuff, I guess. Boomer talking points. Chuck Schumer announced Democrats will be blocking the CR bill from passing, which will result in a government shutdown in days.
But Republicans chose a partisan...
I mean, Massey said that this was... You've got Massey saying, no, it's not doing anything. It's Biden's bill. And then the Democrats saying the Senate's going to shut it down.
...path, drafting their continuing resolution without any input from congressional Democrats. Because of that, Republicans do not have the votes in the Senate to invoke cloture on the House CR. Our caucus is unified on a clean April 11th CR that will keep the government open and give Congress time to negotiate bipartisan legislation that can pass. We should, Mr. President.
The Democratic.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably going to be deals worked out to keep the government open, you know, within the next few days. But maybe it'll shut down for a day.
Security. How about all those things? These are the kind of thoughts. How about no tax on tips? How about no tax on overtime? How about no Social Security? How about all those things? These are the kind of thoughts that will change America. I know what his goal is. No tax for anybody who makes less than $150,000 a year. That's his goal. And that's what I'm working for.
His goal is to have no tax at all for people making less than 150K. I mean, Trump does have some big ambitions in terms of taxes, trying to eliminate the income tax, trying to eliminate the property tax, although he hasn't necessarily said it about the property tax, but why is there always the threat of government shutting down just when they're either voting to extend a spending bill because they have to fund the government, or trying to pass a new spending bill? That's when the threat happens. Well, this one, I mean, it's like 3 months. They agreed to this spending bill back in December, and now it's the extension of it. And then supposedly, if this gets agreed upon, there's going to be the actual big year bill, physical year bill, maybe in the summer or in the fall. And they got all this JD Vance stuff.
Wouldn't have advised him to go in front of the White House and drive a Tesla.
Wait, why?
Because
of course I would have. You know why? Because.
But why is this even an art? Who cares? Oh my God, he drove a Tesla. Oh, he drove a Tesla. It's over, man. I can't believe he drove a Tesla. This stuff is just like, when I see Trump, oh, he's got a Tesla. Like, who cares?
If I were advising a Republican president, I would say, let's support American companies that have thousands of American workers and thousands more workers who make indirect products for it. Yeah, I think it would be a good idea if American companies did well under my administration.
Okay, so you're going to go ahead and support a billionaire, but not support the American worker, and not necessarily.
Who do you think makes Teslas, Sochi? American workers. It's good if
but it's
Tesla
very
does
much
well,
as
American
Jana mentioned.
You think Elon builds them all in his basement? They got factories all over the place,
including in China. But you know.
Yeah. Do we not?
Of course, they've got the updated Dow right here because it's down. If it was up, they wouldn't have it.
They not have thousands of Americans.
The visual of him driving a
Did Joe Biden drive a Jeep Rubicon around the South Lawn?
a six-figure car
Where do they make those?
Is owned by his.
What are we arguing?
Stellantis is giving
the
billions
UAW had a stake in it, and the UAW gave money to Joe Biden, and they supported Joe Biden. You're saying one hand.
Well, you're talking about the UAW. You're kind of making
We're talking
point
about
the
a billionaire.
workers.
A billionaire who is in the federal government making cuts and making business deals that end up benefiting himself.
Well, a lot of those.
How is he benefiting? He's lost half his net worth. There's people burning down Teslas across the country because of Musk's involvements in politics. How is he getting rich off of alienating half of his consumer base? Like this, at least right now, because a Tesla stock is down, this doesn't work. This whole idea that he's enriching himself. Where's the money?
Just before we leave, I think you should do this. For my safety and security and for the good of our nation, you should do it anyway, regardless, even if it costs 10 times more. But it actually costs you just a tiny fraction. If you went to paper ballots and you're voting, and I would hope that every Republican would, so it costs exactly 8% of what the machines cost. These machines, they got something going. They get business. It's amazing. So paper ballots, and paper is very sophisticated today. Paper, it's called watermark. It's impossible to copy, impossible to cheat. It's actually hard to believe that a piece of paper is highly sophisticated, but it's watermark, and it's very, it's amazing actually when you see it. You can't cheat. But if you went to paper ballots and same-day voting, and if you went to voter ID, and also one other thing, you want a proof of citizenship, those four things: proof of citizenship, voter ID, paper ballots, one-day voting.
Well, they're gonna oppose that. Democrats are gonna oppose it. I mean, I'd like to hear the reason why. I would assume it's they say it's hard for minorities to get an ID. What about all the European countries that have banned all this mail-in bullshit and stuff like that? I mean, there's all these countries in Europe. Look at the abortion laws in Europe, and then come back to me and tell me about Roe v. Wade. Those are liberal countries. How do you think America could beat China in a war over Taiwan? Well, I mean, it depends. What is China? Is China gonna do a full-fledged war against Taiwan? It's gonna be very difficult. I mean, there's things you can do against China, like sanction them, and it's very hard. Just look at the geography of that war. I mean, it's a very small island surrounded by China. It's very difficult to defend. Well, actually, I mean, you've got the Taiwan Strait there. It is choppy. It could be. I don't know if they would ever attempt an invasion of Taiwan. I mean, imagine if that happened under Trump. I just hope that doesn't happen. I hope there's nothing that happens with Iran. Now you've got all the people. Trump's gonna escalate with Iran because the nuclear deal is not happening. Trust me, that is the last thing we need. The last thing. What's your prediction with Canada, the United States? How does it end? You're talking about the trade war, Manny. Yeah, Manny, I think that it's a renegotiation of the United States, Mexico, Canada trade deal, and Trump will demand that there be no tariffs on anything, mainly the dairy stuff, in Canada, because Canada has some serious tariffs against us. They don't want us to flood their market. Trump is going to demand an end to tariffs and more access to minerals and rare earths and resources that Canada has, cheaper lumber. There's going to be a litany of things that Trump requests. Listen, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe he does want to hold out on these tariffs and possibly try and make Canada a state, but it just seems unlikely. Trump approval, 47%. Yeah, I mean, Trump is gonna his approval rating is gonna drop a bit because of this economy situation. It's not great, but I mean, it's probably about 50% approval right now. Toshi, yeah, I've heard of Toshi. It's a normie. That's a normie coin of the cycle for sure. What is the March Madness upload schedule? Probably every day, man. Probably every day or every other day. But, I mean, maybe every day. Do you listen to Tucker's podcast? No, I don't. Fox News has some clout because boomers watch it. It will fade. Yeah, I mean, it certainly still gets... I think it's the most viewed news outlet, in the United States, Fox News. Well, they have full control over older Republicans, for sure. And then with liberals, it's kind of split up between MSNBC, CNN, maybe the ABC News. spec AI crazy goodbye. I was maybe looking at some of the AI coins. I mean, the AI coins have bottomed like crazy, man. Because you had that DeepSeek thing that really tanked them, and then this market sell-off has just been brutal on them. What are you most unsatisfied with Trump at the moment? The Middle Eastern policy and the deportation problem. But I mean, I think the deportation problem is gonna get fixed to a degree. They're gonna deport more people. They have to get this budget upped so they can deport more. If Dems could split up with two leftists, well, you know that happens in Europe. In Europe governments, there's like a really far left and then the establishment left and then one right-wing party. They have a lot more parties, but yeah, that'll never happen. I mean, they would tank their own chances at winning if they split like a socialist Democrat party. Yeah, they would just destroy their chances because of how, unless the Republicans split as well. What would be the dream for subs? 1 milli? I mean, I think the dream is just to keep going up in subs. You know, I don't really. It would be great to get 1 million. Nice job on the other vids and news subjects. You've been doing excellent job. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I got a big 9/11 video cooking. It's a long video, man. Let's see how much runtime I have right now. 7 minutes 58 or yeah, 7 minutes 58 seconds. It'll probably be 40 minutes.
Do you believe in the First Amendment? Do you believe in the First Amendment, Tom Homan? How many more New Yorkers will charge red targets?
It seemed like he was hissing at the beginning of that.
How many more New Yorkers will not charge?
It's like hissing.
And they're the ones, of course, who pay full tuition. Yeah. And so of the general studies student population. And that raises two questions. One, why is the American taxpayer, the Free Press reported that, $400 million in federal grants have been yanked. Why are American taxpayers paying to educate people who aren't Americans? And two, it raises this question about immigration and which way the cultural exchange is going.
Mm-hmm. So the other day, 2 days ago, I do believe, right? This is Wednesday. So I think on Monday, Harvard froze hiring. Mm-hmm. What
America to a painful government shutdown. But we need traditional Republicans to break with MAGA extremists so we can keep the government open.
Republican shutdown will cost 6,306 of her constituents their paychecks.
Put the bill on the floor for an up or down vote so we can end this MAGA Republican nightmare. And if you don't, you own this.
Fox News was how you became conservative, really? I became conservative just because, I mean, I was just never liberal ever. but I guess in 2015, the Republican debates. Look up the clip of Trump hissing. It's hilarious. From when? That had been years ago. Unless you're referencing something recently. As a Canadian, Trump needs to stay away. It was extremely insulting when he mentioned that Doug Ford is hurting American people, cutting off the power, threatening it. He's doing that to us. Well, I mean, stay away in what context? You guys are tariffing us at 270% on some of these in some of these sectors like dairy. Don't you think maybe if you stopped your tariffs, Trump would reevaluate it? You want to be fair about this. We can be fair about it. But I mean, Trump is staying. He's not trying to take over your country right now. He's just hitting you with tariffs. Do you think the Patriot Front dudes with masks in blue and tan are feds? Yeah, I mean, I just don't see the point of what they try and accomplish by doing that. I mean, they say they do it because they would get outed and stuff. It's like a right, you know, if they're identified, they would get fired from their jobs and stuff. But you would think there would be a better way to get your message across than going around marching and everyone just like, it just doesn't seem like there's much accomplished when they do that at all in terms of their movement. So I don't really see the point of them doing it unless it's some type of stage thing. View on January 6th, Trump attempting to overturn the election. What is your interpretation? Well, I mean, that's a long... I think January 6th was... Listen, Trump, there were obviously some... It was like the perfect storm of things. It was an election that had a ridiculous amount of mail-in votes. Everyone was in lockdown. I mean, at that point, it wasn't lockdown, but everyone was wearing masks. It took 4 days to count. Biden went ahead after 4 days after Trump was winning. So it was like the perfect storm of stuff. And then obviously I think, well, I don't think I know based off of the evidence that we have that the Democrats made sure January 6th was as much damage as possible. They wanted maximum damage to Trump and the Republicans. They wanted it to be as bad as possible to give them political leverage. And we know that because Trump demanded the National Guard and they didn't give it to him. He demanded it 3 days before. If the National Guard was there, there's no way there's any break-ins. Did you love the Trump meeting today? It was a very cordial meeting there with Ireland. Free Luigi.
Cheaper leather.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because some corporate cunt had to give himself a fucking bonus check at the end of the year. What if we made it worse, but made it look the same?
Yeah.
Then could our pools be bigger?
Not
Free
okay.
Luigi.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's a grown-ass man with that. It's like, I could never be a grown-ass man screaming out Free Luigi. Like, oh my god, the evil fucking corporations, man. Insurance people. Go around, murder someone in cold blood, bro. You're based, man. You gotta free them. You're based, dude. They're so evil. The insurance, bro. You gotta look this up. The insurance companies, they're ripping us all off. Like, I mean, these are third graders. Like, I mean, is there a Luigi meme going on Sonic? Yeah, there is. And I think it's actually it might be like worth 10. It might be at 10 million in market cap. Because I saw it and obviously it boomed because that was a huge story. And then, but it's kind of like you know, it ends up going into accumulation mode after tanking. There's a boom, there's a tank, and then it kind of just goes linear for a while. Maybe it'll boom again.
But the president is clearly trying to do his friend, political donor, actually government employee, a pretty big favor here for his private business.
It's hardly the first time we've had cars on the South Lawn. Man, here's a video of Joe Biden driving a Jeep Rubicon around the South Lawn. I mean, it's pretty common.
And President Trump did it before in his first term as well.
It's pretty common for the President of the United States to boost American industries, American-made products, and companies that are, you know, employing Americans. It's extreme.
Why is this even a story, though? Hasn't Tesla lost half their value? I mean, obviously, Musk is making a sacrifice. Trump is saying, hey, I appreciate you for helping me with this.
Common. He obviously has a close relationship with Elon, who, by the way, is, I think, unfairly under attack. And this company is unfairly under attack. You have these insane people all over the country chasing people down in their Teslas in New York City. I had a friend who tried to trade his Tesla in New York the other day, and there were protesters screaming at his children.
Look,
These
I mean,
people
I
are
think
unhinged,
there is some
and
insanity
they deserve
happening.
support from the
But
government.
let's be clear. Let's not skirt over the fact that Elon Musk spent $250 million to elect Donald Trump.
So you're against America? Oh my goodness! You know how much George Soros spends? Wait. If a liberal argues about money in politics, you will lose 100 times out of 100 because they spend 10 times, like 5 times more than Republicans every single presidential election. They spend way more in midterms. Mark Zuckerberg spent $400 million. $400 million, and he wasn't even their top donor in 2020 to help the Democrats win. And he controls speech on Facebook, on a huge social media platform. This 250 million straw manning, it wouldn't make sense even if there was no Mark Zuckerberg because they spend more than Republicans. They always spend more. Democrats, they always spend more. It's like, it's this weird thing to where they think, well, it's all the rich people, they're all Republican. They always spend more. So it just, at that point, doesn't make any sense.
American company.
No,
You don't want
Elon Musk.
Oh,
that guy, like he's gonna like who evidently is a Nazi. Like I just refuse to believe that it was an accidental 2-time Sieg Heil, and he does it at a presidential inauguration. This is why I hate liberals. It's like liberals have no teeth whatsoever. They just go, "Oh my God, can you believe I'm getting out of the country?" I'm just like, you're gonna leave the country because of one guy with dyed hair plugs and a laminated face?
No, they're leaving the country because of Trump.
Who makes a bad car and has an obsolete social media.
He makes a bad car. Tesla's not a good car. All the normie liberals told me that Teslas didn't run properly.
Media platform, you're going to leave this. Why doesn't he leave? Why isn't he stopped? What are we so afraid of this guy who can't fight his way out of a wet paper bag?
You can take him on.
Like, what is the why do liberals just sit back and not they have nothing?
What are you doing?
This.
Okay.
This. You got to speak up about it. You don't just.
This guy, I can't listen to him. Oh, this will be good.
Our movement has been co-opted and they're trying to erase it, obviously, but it's probably the second most important civil rights movement in American history. The first, of course, being which resulted in the
second most important civil rights movement in history, and it's all a scam. Like the leader of the movement is like half black, half white, like Albanian or something, and he buys houses. Is $2 million. It's all a scam.
Civil Rights Act of 1964, and then the Voting Rights Act of 1965. So I'm devastated by it because it's just a continuation of the erasure of American history. Of course,
George Floyd was American history.
I take it a little personally because one of my closest friends is Alicia Garza, who wrote the letter that started the Black Lives Matter movement, and she is one of our thought leaders of our generation. And so I'm saddened by it, but let's be clear, this was extortion. Take it down or lose federal funding. Right. And we're seeing that same thing at Columbia. We're seeing that, and we're going to continue to see that same type of extortion across the country.
So you don't blame the mayor because she had no choice, really?
No, I don't blame the mayor.
Yeah.
I think the mayor did what she had to do.
And you know what? This is exactly what America voted for. Absolutely. This is why Trump won. How is Ethereum at $1,900, man? Robert F. Kennedy trying to end artificial food dyes. Michelle Obama has a new podcast. Just what everyone wanted this. Michelle Obama with a new podcast. How many of these people are going to get new podcasts? My goodness. Not extortion, it's called an ultimatum, but it doesn't even matter. Yeah, it's extortion. We voted for this. It's gonna go. It's gone. We really don't care if it's extortion or not. The View are 5 insanely rich, deprived women that are probably the most out of touch people with American. Yeah, they really are. And the only time I see The View is when it's these clips where it's just like the super liberal stuff. I mean, I guess that's MSNBC to a degree, but with The View, it's like the constant cultural stuff. At 12K views. I mean, what is this upload schedule? She's uploading 2 videos at the exact same time. That's not going to get good views. She needs to fire her manager. You upload 2 videos at the exact same time? That's a rookie mistake there. Michelle gonna run for president? I doubt it.
I pay more taxes than any 10,000 of them do.
You know what? That's why we do preventative care. That's why we have a different approach, because we have sick care in the emergency room that's universal across this country.
Well, I totally.
People have access all across the country
Who's
for similar
paying for it?
circumstances. You are at
I hate it.
substantially higher prices on the back end for the emergency care.
See, this is where we disagree, because you can't give first world excellent medical care to everyone on the planet
But Michael,
without going bankrupt.
No, I appreciate it, but honestly, I mean this sincerely. What would you do to the person that was just hit by a car, that was here for 15 years taking care of your elderly grandparents in an elder care?
But they shouldn't be in the country for 15 years illegally. That's the problem. Longtime fan, I appreciate it, man. Though I hate your view on immigration, doesn't mean I have to dislike you as a person. What are your thoughts on Houston Cougars? Well, I mean, I'm not sure what, with the immigration stuff. It's all right, man. Houston, I think Houston's going to do very good this tournament. I'm going to pick Houston to win it all, maybe, man. Because I think Houston has been really good the past 4 or 5 years, but they haven't won it yet. They're going to break through. But I don't know who I'll pick yet. Michelle gonna divorce her gay hubby? I thought they already divorced, as the rumors. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about my immigration stance. I mean, it's pretty clear cut, but I mean, maybe it's just like a pause on immigration and then deport the illegals. All the illegals will be deported. Hopefully that's what happens. I mean, there's a lot of illegals in the country. Trump's gotten off to a slow start, but I think Trump will pick it up. I think Trump will pick it up on the deportations. Wheeze. Oh, there's Toshi right there. We got a runner. Man, you gotta be kidding me with this coin, man. Seriously? This is one of the better coins we've seen. A great looking chart. Thoughts on Greenland coin? Are we due for a pump soon? Yeah, I think there's going to have to be a pump with Greenland coin. I saw it was at like 70K. But I mean, the problem is it's a different market now. So it's like, it did have a pretty big pump. It had a pretty big pump to like 3 million. I'm not sure if it's going to go back to 3 million. Just because it's a different market. But I think there's going to be a pump. Like once Trump starts talking about it more, there might be more aggression to it. To getting it, we'll have to see. Yeah, I mean, my chat agrees with the immigration stuff. I mean, it's a pretty common thing. We just don't want illegals here. And some of us want to pause immigration for a certain amount of time. Does Fort Knox stream happen? I mean, you guys keep asking me about the Fort Knox stream. Maybe it'll happen. I guess it depends when they decide to stream in Fort Knox. I don't know if they're gonna do it. I think they are, but it's like these things. I can't predict when it's gonna happen. Yeah, there's got to be a decrease at some point, man. That May 7th, there's got to be a decrease. Come on. Yeah, May 7th. There's probably not going to be any change. I mean, what do you think of Musk wanting to build the fastest train from New York to London under the ocean? How much would that cost? I feel like that would cost way too much money. Dem's whole argument against mass deportation is the economy will crash, but isn't it illegal for companies to hire illegal immigrants? Well, I mean, dude, honestly, when it comes to the economy, nobody wants the economy to crash, but if our economy is being held up by illegal immigration, that's a serious issue in and of itself, rather than keeping these people here and making it worse. I mean, at some point, the Band-Aid would have to get ripped off. I mean, I think they're over-exaggerating how bad, with deporting the illegals will be, but that's a bigger problem, and it's not like, oh, we need to keep all these people here, otherwise our economy will collapse. Our economy is being held up by illegal immigration labor. That's not good. That probably should be fixed. No ROI. Yeah, bet 98. Bet the 98%. There's not going to be any change, but there'll be a change on May 7th. Hopefully. It would cost about $60 trillion. How do you drill that deep? It's insane. That's something that the money would be better off used in space rather than doing that. You think Musk, I mean, I think he just says things sometimes. Show your Thomas Massey tweet. Well, it was just a screenshot, but I'll go ahead and show it. If we violate the Constitution to build a wall, then the wall protects nothing. Come on, dude. Seriously. 2019. Newsom should have Ye on his podcast. If he wants the views, he'll do it. I mean, he had Bannon. He'll have Joe Rogan on. How much you want to bet Newsom tries to get Rogan on? Because he knows Rogan is reasonable. I saw that the MLB team new hats. What a mess that is. U.S. needs to be more self-reliant, acquire more natural resources with Canada, Greenland, produce more goods and services, reduce government spending. Well, yeah, and to do that, there's going to be some economic turmoil, and that's what we're going through right now with these tariffs. To be able to do that, you have to encourage domestic production, and you do that through tariffs, because you force companies to start building in the United States. But I mean, that's the thing. It's like you can't just do that and everything will be good. it takes time. It's a process, and there's gonna be bumpy road. You're sacrificing the short term for the long term. Rogan might call him out on a bunch of stuff. I think Newsom would be the for Newsom. Rogan would be the ideal guest. Rogan tries to not be confrontational and agree with a lot of people. I think Newsom will probably try and go on Rogan, honestly. I mean, why wouldn't you? If you're already talking to Bannon, I would imagine for sure that would be something. It would be very advantageous for a politician to go on Rogan. I mean, Rogan might like call you out a little bit here and there, but it's more so like he wants to agree with you. Sean, what's up, man? I appreciate it. $23. Thank you, man. The whale. The whale. Should the previous presidents be prosecuted for crimes and made into felons like Trump was? Well, what they did to Trump was mainly contingent on the fact that he was still going to run again. I mean, if Trump had retired from politics, it's just a charade going after him. So I think a lot of it was that. And they have obviously had a huge vendetta against Trump. But when you start going after all the presidents, I mean, I think it creates an unhealthy environment politically. Start going after presidents after, but you can understand why Biden pardoned all those people, because Trump obviously wanted revenge to a degree. And of course he would want revenge. They tried jailing him. There were high up Democrats that seriously thought Trump was going to go to jail for a long time. Remember to buy XRP with the $23? Oh, man. How's XRP doing? Is it still under $2? How's Greenland doing? Imagine Greenland just shoots up to 10 million. Zoom out. Now, there's such little hope right now in the market. Gooners. Gooners never die. Fartcoin. What is Fartcoin at? 200 million, maybe? Almost 300. You think Trump's long-term goal with tariffs is to make people buy more American goods and make companies invest here, but isn't the whole MAGA message it's quick and fast success? Well, I don't know if Trump ever... I don't think Trump ever said it was going to be quick and fast. Trump said eventually, there'll be prosperity. I mean, that's just a tagline you say as a politician, though. Yeah, no, I know. It takes time with this stuff when you're talking about domestic investment, and there's going to be an immediate price hike when you're talking about tariffs. That's just the reality, because it costs more to produce things in the United States right now. But they start mass producing more and more in the U.S., the prices will eventually go down. And you're going to see the benefit because that's more jobs. It's going to stimulate the government and the economy better. Is your cat still sleeping? Yeah. Did Canada actually get a new prime minister? Yeah, they got another liberal prime minister, but it's not going to matter. There's an election there soon. But apparently he wants to meet with Trump, and we'll see if that meeting happens. Hopefully it does. I think it'd be great. We seriously do need a meeting between them in the Oval Office, and we can see what happens. See how it gets hashed out in terms of the trade war. How worried are you that after Trump gets out, even after Vance, possible 8 years, if a Dem gets in, they'll undo all the domestic growth Well, if it's you're talking about Vance getting 8 years, it'd be pretty hard to undo that. There would be things in place that you really couldn't undo at that point. Now, if a Democrat wins in 2028, then yeah, you'll see a lot of the same stuff with, that happened with Biden undoing all the Trump stuff, Trump undoing all the Biden stuff. But if it goes from Trump to Vance for 8 years, you're going to have systems in place and domestic investment factories built. It's going to be hard to undo all of that. But if a Democrat wins in 28, then yeah, there's going to be a lot. Even Trump leaving NATO, they might try and put the United States back in NATO. The Paris Climate Agreement, they'll just put us back into that. So there's a lot they'll undo. Brett is Brett's like the biggest coin on, I think Brett's the biggest coin on base. The biggest meme coin, that is. So, it's like, Brett's kind of a unique coin, too. I like that logo, though. It's nice. I like the blue. Yeah, it's the biggest coin on base. It hit around 2 billion. It's at 313 million right now. JD Vance socks. 95K, really? Yeah, compared to where it was, Brett would be cheap at this point. Yeah, that made news about the 150K trying to end it. We'll see.
And I'm here with my big brother, Craig.
Hey, everybody.
We're here because we're excited to announce the launch of our new podcast called IMO with Michelle Obama and Craig Robinson.
And we just posted the trailer if you want to check it out.
Check it.
Yeah, this was crazy. This Kansas baseball hit 5 straight home runs. I saw that. I was like, that's pretty insane. 5 straight home runs back to back to back to back to back. You get back to back to back, that's crazy. Back to back to back to back. But no, 5 straight home runs. Toshi is the face of base. I think Brett is, man. Toshi is definitely normie up friendly. But it's kind of a battle between those two if you just look at base coins. I thought it was an ad playing, like, why can't you skip it? You thought they were launching a coin? Imagine. I'm launching the coin named Michael. Oh, this is just weird, this JD Vance stuff. We'll go look that up, I guess.
And Schumer is a Palestinian, as far as I'm concerned. He's become a Palestinian. He used to be Jewish. He's not Jewish anymore. He's a Palestinian. Okay.
What, because Democrats support Palestine, I guess? SpaceX launch did not happen today. There is a big Mike coin. Was that a preseason game? What, the baseball game? No, that was a college baseball game, man. Your voice audio is low. I turned it up. Yeah, it's hard to get it exactly right, honestly. Making fun of Vance won't be funny because he is too normal. Well, it's like just an it's just a cultural thing. It's just an internet culture. Why does NBA shoot so many threes compared to early 2000s? It's just the way the game is now. They view the three-point shot as better in terms of value, and it's really ruined the game, unfortunately. Wow. Yeah, these liberals get destroyed when it comes to their like rate. 1.4K likes, 1.5K dislikes. You missed the stadium videos? Yeah, I don't do many stadium videos anymore. I mean, maybe if there's like big news, I'll do a stadium video, like new renderings or something like that, you know. Thoughts on Carney potentially meeting with Trump? He will probably ask him the same question he asked Trudeau. Why is the U.S. subsidizing Canada for billions of dollars? I'm not sure. Well, Carney would just say, well, it's a part of a trade deal. But it just comes down to the reliance Canada has on us versus we have on them. But I mean, it would be very good to get those two publicly to see what Canada has to say about that and see how much they're willing to, and also see what Trump is willing to do in terms of maybe renegotiating a trade deal. I mean, it would be good for the United States if it got renegotiated, obviously, because they're the ones calling for it to be renegotiated. They're tapping out in a sense. So we would get a better trade deal, presumably. But I would just like to see kind of where both their heads are at publicly if they had like an Oval Office meeting. And he probably wants to do it because they've got an election upcoming. Right now, the Liberals in Canada are desperate to try and cling to power. So any big news story for them is seen as a potential opportunity. They just go there to dislike the video, then leave. Yeah, I'm sure that's a lot of it. Did you see the journalist ask about Rosie O'Donnell to the Irish president? Yeah, about Rosie O'Donnell going to Ireland. These white liberal women, they always flee to like a European country. You'd think they'd go to like an African country or something. I mean, that's what their beliefs are, but no, they go to the European countries. China literally put tariffs on Canada after the US did. They have tariffs. Yeah, this mass hysteria with tariffs. These countries, Canada is tariffing us already. They've been tariffing us for years. People just want, like, you know, when it affects the short-term stock market, people get angry. What are the odds you're giving on Greenland annexation happening ever? Ugh, I mean, maybe 30%. In terms of annexing them, I mean, an economic deal, I think, has a better chance, a significantly better chance. They still want to keep their independence, so that's a thing to where it's like, maybe there's an economic deal. You don't want American liberals ruining Europe? Well, that should be the least of your concerns in terms of immigration in Europe. Is American liberals. American liberals, trust me, are the least of your concerns. Love her or hate her, you have to respect Rosie following through on her threat to leave. I didn't even know she threatened to leave. I mean, people just don't take the threat seriously anymore because it's so many of them threatened to leave in 2016 because they never thought Trump was going to win. Where are we on the Canadian state progress? It's not going to happen. They need to play ball with Trump and renegotiate I think they want to do that. They've demanded they want to renegotiate that trade deal that was due for renegotiating in 2026. They're saying, let's renegotiate it right now. We can't deal with these tariffs. Okay, I don't think are a lot of American libs actually going to Europe? I feel like it's not a big thing going on, but people keep telling me that. Did Trump completely pull out of NATO yet? No, that would be a major news story if that happened. No. He's talked about NATO. He said NATO needs to pay. I think he just talked about them today. With Ireland, he talked about them because they had Ireland, and he's like, is Ireland taking advantage of you? And he's like, absolutely. I don't know where the clips are. Ukraine must withdraw troops. Those are the eastern regions. Ukraine must formally abolish plans to join NATO. I think that's probably going to have to be something Ukraine agrees upon. Europe is crazy expensive. Yeah, there's people in Europe are mainly poor. They don't have a lot of money. They don't have big houses. CPI was great today. Very, very good, yes. If PPP number tomorrow is good, we may see everything rip. Yeah. I mean, you knew this was going to have to happen with inflation. It was going to happen, especially with how Trump's been manipulating the economy. Are you still bullish on crypto? If so, when do you think cycle top? Yeah, I mean, the cycle top would be sometime late fall, early winter this year. Like sometime around November, I would say cycle top in general. Bitcoin top would probably be sooner if it ends up working in terms of the 4-year cycle. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. But if the 4-year cycle works out, that's what you're looking at the 4-year cycle playing out, and it's sometime in late fall, early winter. You love Trump, but he's about to have a 32% approval rating. That's pretty specific. What do you have, time traveler? 32% approval? No, his approval rating wouldn't go that low unless Middle East war. Or his approval rating wouldn't even go that low in terms of that. We are getting Doge checks. That would be good for the economy if that happened, yeah. Now is a good time to buy, fall, winter, sell. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would say. Now is a good time to buy in the fall. I mean, if we do actually get a bull cycle, it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be insane. There's going to be the most money ever in crypto. If it ends up happening, I mean, a lot of these coins are just going to do ridiculous things, hopefully. Bitch Bannon to the moon, that coin. You feel like the steam or momentum has really slowed down as we get closer to 100 days in? Like they did their really good ideas already, and now they ran out of good ideas to execute. Well, I mean, a lot of it is just, he's the president for 4 years. So, I mean, even the things that they've talked about implementing, all of the major stuff is yet, that will decide Trump's administration and how he does, it's yet to be, it hasn't unfolded yet. All of the major stuff hasn't unfolded. So we'll have to see. I mean, how this tariff war ends, the trade war, the wars in general in the middle. I mean, the Middle East war, it's looking a little. There's really no good resolution for the Middle East situation, but Iran, there is a good resolution, and hopefully some type of nuclear deal. But it doesn't seem like they wanted to sign one. But Israel Palestine, you're going to anger someone no matter what you do, and that's its own problem with Israel. But I mean, pretty much everything is still in front of Trump to do, so it's like it's just incomplete in terms of grading Trump. I mean, we'll see if he follows through with the no tax on tips, the no tax on overtime, the deportations need to ramp up. I mean, what market cap do you think Greenland will go to? What, that coin? I have no clue. Maybe hopefully it goes to like $1 million at least. I mean, it went to 3 million, so, but it's hard with crypto, man. There's not a lot of money in the market right now. Cracking my knuckles. Favorite comedy movie? I mean, The Wolf of Wall Street. They don't make movies like that anymore, man. Wolf of Wall Street was a really good comedy movie. To stop the war, you have to give Putin at least 80% of what he wants. Well, I mean, it depends what his demands are, if he's going to get that 80% or not. But there's compromise from both sides. I mean, if Putin wants to continue it, then NATO is going to keep funding Ukraine. Yeah, remember Safe Moon back in 2021? Safe Moon was what did it hit, like 5 billion or something? I mean, I really wasn't even paying much attention at that point. But it went pretty high and then they got sued. What US state has best weather in your opinion? I mean, you would say California has the best weather overall, but it depends where you're at. Like San Diego, California probably has the best climate out of any place. You turned $1,000 into $15. Yeah, well that's retail. You were retail buying in towards the tail end of that bull run. There's going to be a lot of that probably happening this cycle. There is a Safe Moon on Solana, just kind of like as a meme 2.0 version. It ran pretty crazy. Oh, is this it right here? It's down to 400k. Yeah, look at this coin. This is the newer one. This coin ran to like 50 million. It's down to 400k. Just been selling off constantly. I mean, it's not surprising. This is kind of what's been happening with most coins. You're sidelined right now, not sure what to buy. Well, you're talking about the stock market or crypto? The meme of a meme? Oh, yeah, of course. They gotta have a meme of me. This one's on Solana. Solana is, you know. Remember Vine? I wonder, because I heard Vine was really down too. Like, Vine, MLG, all these coins. Oh, this is at 32 million still. Yeah, didn't it reach like 300 million? It was like the creator of Vine launched it or something. Yeah, 300 or 400 million. It's down to 32 million. Accumulation window. I mean, that's why I think 4chan coin is going to do well when you got coins like this. You just gotta, the thing is, you just gotta hold. You just have to hold through. Like, the only time I'll ever have success is holding long periods of time. Or you might get lucky, but it's unlikely. Crypto. Yeah, I mean, I could give you some coin. It just depends on your risk tolerance. But I mean, there's good, like MOG is a good investment, I think, right now. SPX, those are higher caps. DG Bracket 7.0 coin. The most useless. Wonderwolf DG2. Yeah, that is a thing. You know that, right? DG2. You buy and hold for a year. Well, I buy and hold until the cycle happens. However long that takes. But yeah, if you hold for a year, you don't get hit with the short-term gains tax. Did you hear what Fetterman said about Dems? To me, it's irrelevant. I mean, these, you know, Fetterman, these people, they're trying to appeal to a wider base. There's always this, like, mystique when, like, either a Republican or a Democrat calls out their own party or says the other party is good. I mean, Fetterman to me it's a non-interesting individual to me, Fetterman. You could see Rubio going for the ticket. You think Rubio would run against Vance in the primary? Yeah, a lot of this. I saw Rubio. I mean, he might be the VP, but it's hard to say. $33% taxes would hurt your gains. That's why they're trying to eliminate that gains tax. 33% is insane. No alt season, BTC blow off top 100. If BTC's at 120K, undoubtedly there's some money flowing into alts for sure. I mean, depending on which, you know, it would depend on what you classify as an alt season, but I think there'd be enough. I don't know about a total alt season if the top is 120K, but there'd be money flowing into alts. You don't think it's a good thing that some mentally ill guy who had a stroke sides with Republicans? Yeah. I mean, I you know, whenever there's a Democrat or Republican that goes against the grain, there's all this coverage about it and stuff. Are we buying Greenland? You need an update right now. Meow. Well, listen, I did a 22-minute video on it, but this is going to depend on Greenland becoming independent of Denmark, which they want to do, but there's no timeline on them doing it. And then we would have to swoop in and cut a deal with Greenland once they become independent with Denmark, which again, they want to be independent with Denmark, but they don't want to join the United States. So we'd have to give them a deal that would incentivize them joining us. Does the government still have a crazy high self-employment tax? Yes, they do. Yeah, they do have a crazy high self-employment. What platform do you recommend buying meme coins? Well, I buy my meme coins on Phantom Wallet through Radian or Uniswap for Ethereum or base coins. Ethereum base coins on Uniswap is what I use. I really never use MetaMask, honestly. Any chance Russia could attempt to buy Greenland? I'm sure they'd be interested. It's not going to happen, though, with where it's located. They would just allow the United States to buy it over Russia, obviously. Or nowadays, I don't know. Because the EU is like, well, Russia and the United States are enemies together. Just kidding, but obviously there's hostility with Trump in the White House between the United States and the EU. But again, that would never happen. The United States and the EU would not allow Russia to have any control of Greenland. Even if they made a better offer, it's just where it's located, they wouldn't allow it. Thoughts on who Joe Rogan should interview next? I haven't seen many. I mean, I feel like Alex Jones hasn't gone on there in like 5 years or something. Someone was saying it was like 5 years since he went on there. So Alex is a good interview. I don't know about now though. But Alex had a really good interview or a really good podcast with him back in like 2017. But that was like peak Rogan. Now I'm sounding like a liberal because liberals say, oh, when Rogan wasn't a conservative, it was peak Rogan. But I just don't watch Joe anymore, just because it's I got other things to do. Please no meme coins. Please real crypto. I mean, what define as real crypto? You want me to go over AI projects that are shit as well? I mean, this all the same shit, dude. There is good utility coins, but it's like a lot of it once you dive into the weeds on a lot of these altcoins, they're all shit. That's not to say they can't. That's not to say they can't go crazy. They can. That's the funny thing with crypto, but. Where are the liberal bots this stream? They only appear when it's like when I get like 1,000 viewers, I think. They only appear when there's a certain amount. Well, I mean, dude, there's gonna be more people. When there's more people in a stream, there's a higher chance you get some people that are either bots or just are liberals and haters, things like that. When you get more people in, when there's less people, it's more likely it's just gonna be a chiller stream. Joe Rogan has the Jamie dude. Is Jamie a moderate? I think Jamie's a liberal, honestly. To me, from what I saw, he was always like trying to argue the liberal point, like, oh, he was always trying to argue some liberal bullshit when I was watching. Trump releases UFO, UAP files. Let's go. When is that happening? Hey, let me see this Iran deal. Yeah, this is probably going to be happening, I would imagine, if there's going to be a peace deal. Yeah, this is all down. It's all down significantly because nobody thinks they're going to be released. That's the problem. You're not a retarded liberal. I never called you that, man. You just think tariffs are retarded. Well, I mean, tariffs are a leverage bargaining strategy. Just because there's been a short-term economic loss, it's irrelevant. And 1 month of bad movement in the stock market, it's irrelevant long-term. What do you think is a lock on poly market? I'll try and find something that's 50-50. Air sea ceasefire in Ukraine before May. Huh. Well, I mean, it depends if Russia agrees to. I mean, before May seems pretty like a pretty good chance. You got all of March, all of April. The Binder story ruined the Epstein files. Well, yeah, it was just completely botched. I mean, so it is ruined to a degree. Where do you get a lot of your news besides X? I'll either just look it up on Google. I'll use AI link. I'll use Grok. I'll use ChatGPT. I'll use Ground News sometimes, not really. Or I'll just look it up and then go to certain articles on different sites, different. But I mean, yeah, a lot of it is X because it's just on there. It's just easily digestible. It's very short. They're just tweets or they're threads. You get things that trend. You get the For You page. It's just the structure they have on X makes it very palatable for getting news. Busted out laughing when you said "Cry Me a River" like a week ago. Yeah, somebody said that in the chat. Like when I set up one of the streams and people put in comments before the stream starts. I saw that and I was like, I got to do that. But that was a great time, man. When that whole thing was going on with Zelensky. That was a really cry me a river with the uppercase C, so Am I still in Epstein coin? Yeah, I am. I'm waiting for a news on it. Try and get out. Try and at least get my money back. Get back up to like 300K in terms of the market cap of the coin. Random, but Tate still thinks it's 2022 with how obsessed he is with himself. Bro thinks he's getting Googled. Yeah, the thing is, when you start watching him, you realize it. Because I was telling people, just why the guy is just obsessed with himself. He just it's constantly like, I control everything, and it's like, dude, just enough. It makes it hard to listen to Tate because it's just a constant. Like he is obsessed with. Oh my god, I'm looked up to. Everything I say, it's just. The only time I talk about Tate is on here because you guys talk about him. I mean, I'll see some of his stuff and look, some of it's good. He's spewing right-wing talking points, like the based right-wing talking points. Okay, that's great, man. I mean, you were like living in Romania for 3 years. Like you come here and it's like. Files need to come out. Well, something needs to come out. There's gonna be phase 2. Something has to come out. Just give us something so we get hype so we can get the coin to go up. Is this coin's like under 80K or some shit? This is gonna be a problem if I look at this and it's. All right, it's at 96K. It's not moving. It's just not moving now. Yeah, it's not moving. Tate may date Candace Owens. I thought Candace Owens was married to a white dude. Greenland could make a good tax haven. Yeah, but they don't have their climate is rough. People would go to Puerto Rico. Well, I mean, I guess depending on. I don't think people would really be interested in going to Greenland right now. But it would be a good tax situation anytime they're in any territory. It's going to be a good tax situation because there's no federal. It's a uniparty. They all are the same. MAGA buying Tesla now. And if Trump was president during COVID, Dems would be crying about the jab. Well, it is pretty crazy. Trump comes out with the jab and like the complete 180 in opinion with the jab from Democrats. I mean, you're 100% right on the jab. They would say they said it. They said it when Trump was in office. I don't trust this. I don't trust this vaccine that Trump has. And then it's like their number one, Pfizer's biggest ally, pushing the vaccine. And yeah, the parties just flip in terms of their opinion on it based on who's in office. You bought $400 3 days ago on the Andrew Tate coin. Yeah, you probably are basically even right now. You might be up like 2%, 5%. Daddy should have been released in 2022 at the height of his fame, 2 years too late. Yeah, I mean, but nobody was really. There weren't a lot of influencer coins being released in 2022. Also, it was pretty the start of a bear market in 2022. But yeah, I mean, I'm not interested. I mean, this coin will probably end up going up just if we do have an alt season, just because every altcoin goes up. You remember the picture you posted of Alan Lichtman losing his keys? Yeah, that was a funny. That dude is so delusional. That's another Democrat shill. McNeese won today. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone thought McNeese was gonna win their conference. You're holding for 1 year. And this coin, you probably sell before then, I would say, man. Bitcoin was like 13K in 2022. Well, that would have been, it was like 15K, I think it went down to in 2022. I remember that crash in the summer when it went down. Did you notice liberals astroturfing fear over Project 2025 when they brushed the World Economic Project 2030 under the rug? Well, yeah, I mean, that was obviously a script. I mean, it's just performance art with liberals. The mass hysteria with Project 2025 really culminated around their when they had their convention. When they had their convention, remember they had the big book? You remember the big book? This is Project 2025. All minorities are going to be enslaved. But it's just like, you can tell it's so ridiculous because they're all saying the exact same thing. And so it became like a meme, like Project 2025. Do you watch the NHL? I don't watch the NHL, no. They always release Project 25. Yeah, I know. They always do that. That was like, it's a Republican establishment thing that they were doing. The thing is like, they were like talking about firing federal workers, and he's like, oh, they're going to replace all of them with Trump puppets and things like that. But you're right. That is something they always have every 4 years. It's a model. Heritage think tank. Yep. Libertarian talking points. That's the heritage. They release it every 4 years. But I mean, they had to fearmonger something. That's the thing. I mean, and there are still, and look, I don't know what's in the Epstein files, but man, they were so desperate for anything on Trump. You think if Trump was in those files, they weren't releasing it? You think they give a fuck about Bill Clinton? I mean, maybe, listen, it might have been, but I mean, they might have just released the Trump stuff. But if you release the Trump stuff, you kind of have to release it all. And there is some serious Israel influence on those not being released. They want to ban people from killing babies. Yeah, dude, like the whole abortion argument, it's just so in one ear out the other. I mean, that really is a moral, societal issue, you know, because it's obviously based off of the value of an unborn. I mean, it's such a deep thing in terms of creating human life and valuing creating human life. And it's like my body, my choice. Well, yeah, you have the choice not to be a thought. I mean, that's the listen. I guess accidents happen, but it's pretty clear here. Seriously, appreciate the work you do with your streams. It's the perfect blend of chaos, info, comedy. That Bannon bitch segment was incredible. Huh. SA, I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a funny thing. What happened with that? Dude just kept asking me about it. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's some girl. He's like, this Bannon bitch. Doge has discovered there are 394 million Social Security recipients in the U.S. There are only 334 million citizens in the U.S. Oh boy. Hopefully Doge can present this properly and everything. Doge is gonna spew more propaganda for us about how much money they're saving. Save us, Doge. Give us more propaganda. And then liberals like deny it. Oh, it's not true. They're not wasting money. It never happened. This win, this. Yeah, this account is not good. Didn't this dude like launch a meme coin and then delete it? I don't even know. He like promoted a meme coin then deleted the tweet. But these are the problems with these accounts. It's like 1.2 million. Dude, I mean, a lot of the shit that he posts is just. But I mean, you would believe it because it's 1.2 million. There's got to be some legitimacy to it. Dude, like this is the thing nowadays with this politics. Like, what is Andrew Schultz doing? Like, analyze. You don't want to gatekeep it, but it's just like all of these comedians. Like, oh, we've got political analysts now. You came to find out we were buying Greenland. Can someone here tell me what is happening? Well, look, I did a whole full video on it today. I talked about it, but I did a video. It's 22 minutes long. It's the last video I uploaded. Fuentes hates Vance. Well, yeah, because Vance is next in line. And he has to position himself against Vance. How much would Greenland cost? It depends. Do we have to acquire it from Denmark or just are we negotiating with Greenland? But there's going to have to be an investment into Greenland no matter what. So the investment has to happen. It's just, do we have to pay Denmark for the rights to have Greenland? If we don't have to pay Denmark, then it's going to cost less. Then we're just going to have to negotiate with Greenland and give them some type of investment so it's an actual thing that they would want to do. I mean, they need money from someone. It's just we don't want them to go with the EU. No, Greenland is not becoming a state. Greenland does not have the population. Greenland does not have the population, man. How many shekels to buy Gaza? I hear Gaza is 50% off now with the way it looks. I mean, it's not a good situation in Gaza. But whatever Trump does there is probably not going to go over well with a certain segment of people. Are you on live chat or top chat? I'm on live chat, bro. Top chat doesn't show you all the messages. The only time I change between chats is when I get like during the election season. There were some times where I'd get so many of the fan funding things I had to go to it. Is he saying that just to be a contrarian? No, it's the Peter Thiel, the Jewish connection. Logan Paul fought Andrew Schultz in WWE. They've been bringing every mainstream person on WWE, I swear. I mean, WWE, I think, all this mainstream stuff, it makes it worse. I mean, I don't watch it anymore. When I was younger, I watched it, but there wasn't all these mainstream people.
People love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't.
It was much more than... She's so angry. It was much more than Rosie.
Mr. Trump.
Oh, they didn't show it. There was a really funny meme video with Trump and Grimace, because Trump did a Grimace commercial, I don't know, when he was younger. There's like they spliced up a bunch of the debate stuff together. I think that video got deleted. That was an all-time video. That video came out in like 2016. It was like they spliced up a bunch of debate stuff. It was like mainly that debate, the first debate. What was your reaction when you watched it live? It was awesome, man. It was awesome. I mean, at that time, I think I was about to turn 16. It was awesome. Kelly hated him. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But I mean, Trump was center stage at that point. He was already like, it was like he was jousting. You remember the whole thing with Jeb Bush being in the lead early, and people thought, I mean, that's where the party was. Jeb Bush was leading. Trump was at like 5%, and then Trump immediately, and then it was all convoluted. It was like Trump was at 20%, Jeb was at 15%, Ben Carson went up. Ben Carson had a run. Like, I feel like if I could find that, maybe I might be able to find that on Real Clear. I don't know. $2020. I don't think I'll be able to find it. Maybe the archive. No, not national polls. I don't want national polls. Oh, here it is. Yeah, Jeb Bush was up. Like, look, Jeb Bush 15%, Rubio 13%, Scott Walker, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Mike Huckabee, Ben Carson, Chris Christie, Scott Perry. And then Trump takes control. Yeah, that debate was like right. I remember because I just went back to school. That debate was like really late August. At that point, Trump was at like 23%. I mean, but there's such a crowded field. Yeah, that's the only primary season we're gonna get. I thought the primaries were always like that. No, the primaries are always shit. We got really lucky with this primary. And then Kasich stayed on forever from Ohio, from my state. We don't know what Kasich was doing. He was a clown for staying on that long. He thought like Trump was going to implode or something. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. Looking back on that. And he had the whole Republican Party against him, even the big conservative influencers like Shapiro, hardcore MAGA people. Yeah, did you see I saw Matt Walsh's tweets from 2015. There's some of the cringiest shit ever about Trump. About how Trump is bad, and I mean that's when it was all neocons, and it would have been great to stream that period, but it's a bit too young for that. Being a Trump supporter back then was different. Well, yeah, because at that point it's like you're a lot more galvanized behind Trump then. Now it's gotten to so, mainstream and stuff like a low energy Jeb. Remember Jeb Bush? Please clap. I mean, it got really bad for Jeb. And then Trump was like, more energy tonight. I like that. To Jeb during one of the debates. But they had so many debates, man. Dude, they used to have so many debates. They'd have like a debate a month. And nowadays they don't do that. Well, I mean, I guess they did do a lot of debates. Trump never showed up to them in the primary in 2024. Trump force one flying over Ted's speech. Remember when Ted Cruz lied about something in a phone call about Ben Carson, and then Trump kept bringing it up? He lied about voting or something in the Iowa caucus, the first caucus, the first primary. I guess it's called the caucus, but. Trump ended Bush, Clinton's, Obama's. That's true. I mean, that is. Greenland shifts right as Trump revives U.S. takeover talk. Oh, I mean, we'll see what happens. We need another 2016 primary in the future. The primary was fucking insane. Wish Trump would return to that rhetoric he had in 2016. No, he's not gonna return to it. There's no way. But yeah, if we had another primary like that, I mean, it's hard to see a Republican primary like that in 2028. Maybe the Democrats, but the Democrats are so controlled. But I think the Democrats are gonna have a bunch of people. Because there's just no consensus with them. So it'll start off pretty split with the Democrats. They'll probably be like 12 to 14 legit candidates. But then there'll be like 3 or 4 main ones, if you will. Probably Newsom will be one of them. I mean, just what he's doing. I don't think he's going to win, but I mean, Newsom is a really good talker. But we'll see how it all sets up. He's got a really bad track record, and he's a coastal elite. The primary was hilarious. I mean, the primary was just... And then the Democrats, where they just rigged it for Hillary. I think Hillary was probably going to win anyway, just based off name recognition, honestly, those primaries. But they just blatantly rigged it for her with all the I mean, there was like... The coverage between how much they covered Hillary versus Bernie, it was like 85-15 with CNN. I mean, it was they wanted it was gonna be Hillary. Hillary was their choice. I mean, they made Joe step down. So it was Hillary's primary. You think George Soros has control of the Dems? Well, any big money person in politics is going to have some control over whoever they fund. So of course he's the biggest criminal, in terms of doing that. Trump on his small hands, I guarantee you there's no problem. He insinuated if my hands were small, something else is small, I guarantee you there's no problem there. And then the whole crowd just starts clapping. What's funny is that MSNBC, CNN no longer put him on air because they gave him so much airtime. Ended up having a lot of their viewers vote Trump back when they... Well, now it doesn't matter. I mean, now they're going to have to show him because he's the president. But yeah, they did give him so much airtime just because they wanted the views. And they didn't think he could win. Superdelegates rigged it for Hillary. Well, the Democrats have had a rigged system for three straight cycles at least. And obviously 2012, there was no Democratic primary. It was going to be Obama. 2008, it was Obama versus Hillary. That was probably the last real grassroots movement for like a Dem primary with Obama beating Hillary. But then they certainly rigged it for her in 2016. Then they rigged it for Biden in 2020. Then they said no. I mean, it got to the point where RFK Jr. is running and like they force him out of the party. So then he has to run as an independent. And then he ends up joining Trump. You'd be in jail. Yeah, I remember that debate was like on a Sunday night. I had school the next day. I remember that debate. Trump had like a cold or something. He was sniffling. He's like, well, thank God Donald Trump doesn't have, control of the law in this country because you'd be in jail. And then the crowd just, it was like a town hall. That was a town hall debate. I remember that. You miss when they had crowds at debates? Yeah, I mean, but sometimes the crowds get like really loud and it delays the debate like minutes because there's constant stuff. But yeah, Trump kept saying when Jeb Bush made a point and people started cheering for Jeb Bush, he was like, those are all of his donors and special interests. And then they'd start booing Trump. Remember the controversy around Marco Rubio drinking water and Trump made fun of it? Yes, I remember that. Well, Rubio was giving a speech and I guess he just really needed water, but then he tried to like drink water. He did it in the most awkward way possible. Just like one of those baby bottle of water, like one of those baby bottles, baby water bottles. You remember Ebola scared everyone before COVID? Yeah, for some reason, Ebola had like a huge impact. I mean, I guess it was obviously it wasn't COVID, but I do remember everyone talking about Ebola. Yeah, that was a crazy time. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this live stream. Thoughts on Michelle podcast? I don't think I'll be watching it, man. I don't think I'll be watching it. I wonder if they have the comments turned on. Probably not. Do they seriously have the comments off? Or they'll be moderating them, I'm sure. The fly on Mike Pence's head was an all-time... Yeah, that was 2020. That was the 2020 VP debate with the fly with Mike Pence. Dude, I remember seeing Alex Jones do videos, do updates like in October of 2016. Dude, Alex just talking about Hillary being a demon. Oh man, that was like right before. Well, there was going to be this big release like WikiLeaks, and nothing got released, and Alex Jones pulled an all-nighter to try and cover it, and there was nothing that got released. All right, guys, I'll be seeing ya.